Today we're going to be looking at the best miners to buy here in October 2024. Hey, I'm Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I'm a miner. I also make content here on the tube, so I hope you subscribe and stick around. The mining market is always rapidly changing. I do this research for myself for my own mining farm, and then I enjoy turning around and sharing it here with you all. This data is what I use to make my decisions for my next miner acquisitions. There are some new, exciting, cheap miners that have come out that earn more than they burn in electricity. It's especially applicable to at-home miners, right? We're talking about devices that you can plug in at home for 500 bucks that turn a profit. We're also going to be looking at best-in-class miners for, of course, Bitcoin and many other cryptocurrencies. Some of these miners can earn over $50 a day after accounting for a typical electricity bill. There's a bunch of mining profitability calculators out there. We're going to look at a couple of them today, right? And you look at this and you see these chart toppers. And let's talk about the most profitable miner in the world right now. I have it. It's called the Bitmain antminer AL1. So they were undercut by Ice River on the AL3. The AL1 cost over $30,000. And when I acquired it, that's what it was trading at. The AL3, on the other hand, came out at like 12 or 14 or something and quickly cut all the way down to $10,000 per machine. The mining profitability has dropped so drastically on this, it is set up to be the worst miner acquisition of my freaking life. So you can see that I got it plugged in on the 6th and then on the 7th. So I haven't even had this deployed a month, and you can pick it up for 1/3 of the price. And that's exactly why in today's video, I'm not into ALPH mining at all. I'm having this bad experience, and I'll talk about it more in another video. But the point was, the old logic used to be, if you're a first batch miner buyer, you're good. Not true anymore. Not using that rule anymore, ever again. So ALPH miners, super risky. Then you have this absolute behemoth that is the S21 EXP, and it seems like a really profitable Bitcoin miner, but it's basically 4 Bitcoin miners wrapped into one. Understand what kind of power draw that is. 11,000 watts. That's huge. That's 4 full-size mining rigs essentially, right? So we look down the list, we see Dogecoin miners, we see Kaspa miners, we see these other altcoins like Radiant and many others. And so we're going to run through those things. But I can firmly say that I think ALPH mining is so scary and so risky. The ALPH cryptocurrency is only putting out 0.88 BTC of emission per day, right? So that's like $50,000, $55,000 in newly mined coins per day. The fact of the matter is, I'll probably never make my money back on this. And the tragedy is that you can pick up the same device that I got about a month ago for 1/3 of the price. I assure you, I have not mined 2/3 of that miner's price or even close to it. So let's talk about something good, right? We have these new little mini miners, the AO2 for ALPH for $1,400 and the KS2 Lite. So that's coming in at $650 on resellers. We're an affiliate with a few resellers that we like and work with and order from. For example, ASIC Marketplace. We have a coupon code, but if you enjoy the free content, please use our link down in the video description below, because if you only use our code, we don't get any credit, and it doesn't help us keep making all this content all the time. I work on the mining farm and VoskCoin full-time along with Alexa, and we have an incredible editing team that's full-time with us as well. So it's a lot, but it's fun, and I think it's a worthwhile endeavor. Direct from Ice River, we've got a link and a code with them as well for what it's worth. They still have these in stock. You can see the shipping estimate here, 500 bucks, and remember to get your own power cord so you're not sitting there unable to deploy day one. But this is a very typical power cord. So, I mean, you could grab it off most electronics in your house. What's the expected profitability, right? So these are going to be 2 of the most viable little at-home miners. So we'll put in KS, we'll go Ice River, right? And we see AL2 Lite supposed to make $6.50 a day after a 7 cent per kilowatt hour electricity bill is what we have out on the farm now, thankfully. And the KS2 Lite is supposed to earn $1.20 a day. So I would estimate that's going to cost an average person around $1 a day to run. Same with the other model. They have the same power consumption of 500 watts each. This seems really lucrative today. I think that at the higher price point, I don't know if people will ever make their money back on this, honestly. I think this Ice River AL2 Lite is trash. We'll see. Alephium mining is essentially making mining manufacturers rich and miners poor. That's how it's been so far. If it changes, well, hey, I'll let you know. The KS2 Lite, much more established ecosystem at this point. $2 a day profits, $1 a day electricity. Expected to earn $401 over the next year. TBD, we'll see. Honestly, at the price points though, I still don't find this miner interesting. It's not something that I'm eager to pick up. It's just not earning enough for the price. You used to spend $500 on a miner and it made $3, $4, $5, $10 a day. Now you spend $500 on a miner and you make $2. It's just not enough. The risk versus reward, right? I'd rather just throw $500, $600 at the cryptocurrency with this equation. It's just not enough for me. Risk versus reward, that's what it all comes back to. And of course, your spent opportunity cost. So that's where I turn my focus to this other at-home miner, the ElphaPex DG Home 1. So the ElphaPex miners are good. They're better than the antminer L7s. They're worse than the antminer L9s. The performance of my 3 DG1s I have deployed on my farm have been fine. They've been good. So 2,100 megahash a second or 2.1 gigahash a second, consuming only 630 watts. So depending on your electricity rate, costing around $1 a day to run. What kind of profitability could we see with a device like that? The estimated mining profitability would be $2.15 a day after accounting for the electricity bill. And you look at the other ones that cost less and make similar or more or whatever. Yeah, the bottom line is this is still a very expensive device. But what it does mine is an old cryptocurrency. It can do triple mining, so it's mining Doge as well as Litecoin and also BELLSS all at the same time. Not that I think BELLSS is going to be a viable long-term mining addition to this equation, but it's good in the short term. Putting out $1.6 million of new coins per day, old ecosystem established, good efficiency there. If I'm eager to buy a miner and that's like the cap of my budget and it needs to be at home, it needs to be quiet, maybe I care if it looks cool or good or unique, this is going to be the ticket there. And that price is before you punch in our coupon code, which takes a good chunk off. We campaign for the best coupon code possible, better than the ones they always have on their website. But to be frank, at-home mining, smaller scale mining viability is getting harder and harder. It's becoming more and more reality that things like this are going to have to be offset by, say, solar power to really make it a worthwhile and lucrative endeavor. You're burning your excess kilowatt hour generation versus like, this is what I'm doing and I'm paying retail electric on that just continues to go up year over year. Gold Shell makes a lot of small miners well suited for at-home mining. Like you can plug all these into most outlets in your house. And most of them earn more than they burn. But Gold Shell has been pricing their stuff so terribly. The performance has been on the rougher side. As it stands, these are not interesting to me personally, but I just wanted to make you aware of them. And you can go and run the numbers of what they cost versus what they earn and so forth. So let's switch gears and go to Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin mining, best in class miner right now to order is the S21 XP. And I haven't gotten one of these in hand yet. I've been slowing down my Bitcoin mining expansion, but apparently these are already ready to go. These came from being announced to actually shippable, just what seems to be so fast. And they're supposed to have that cool new little LCD up there by the control board, which will give you the IP address, readout, and maybe other information. As a nerd, I'm very excited for that. Bitcoin mining is so expensive though. It's so expensive. We look at best Bitcoin miners you can buy right now. Their electricity cost rate is essentially their efficiency. And you're spending less energy to be mining, right? And so the most efficient Bitcoin miner in the world that's air cooled is the S21 XP at 6 cents. Let's change that to at least 7 cents. It's 7 cents per kilowatt hour. That's going to cost me $6.12 a day to run. I'm going to spend half of what I earn on it the day when I get it out of the box on electricity. If you don't know the history of mining, it never used to be this basically poor of a upfront return. It's that competitive. That's the downside with a dozen or more billion-dollar companies that are publicly traded that literally solely mine Bitcoin. It's crazy. But yeah, $12.22 a day. Where does this become really interesting to me? Orange Coiner, BTC Maxi, Again, I've maybe got solar or I'm willing to build it out. I generate the extra electricity to run this 24/7. Basically, you'd have to deploy a 14 kilowatt solar system array at 400 watt panels to power this S21 XP annually. Expensive endeavor, but once all that's paid off, it's a real life money cheat code. And I love that and that mindset, and I'm gonna keep saying that because that's my end game, that's my goal. S21 save several $1,000s and get good performance, but that efficiency is a huge leap. 17.5 watts per terahash of mining power versus 13.5 watts per terahash on the S21 XP. Right? Take whatever car you're driving, and this one gives you 5 more MPGs. It's a substantial jump. Less watts spent per terahash is winning here. You don't want to spend more, you want to spend less. Beyond Bitcoin mining, I look at miners like the BOMBAX, Ethereum Classic, ZIL, dual miners. Those have been great performers in my farm. They're very profitable. They're expensive. Same with the Bitmain antminer L9, the best Dogecoin miner in the world. Recently deployed one. It's been doing fantastic. It's a very profitable machine, mining old stuff. And those are just the best new miners. I think getting the antminer K7 for Nervos Network, which is the next highest coin on this emission list here, is too risky. And I'm not saying that to safeguard my Nervos mining arm of my farm. The K7s have been out for years. Bitmain absolutely has a better machine. They just haven't released it. So whenever they decide to release the K9 or whatever the hell they're going to call it, then that may be interesting. But the bottom line is that the best miner for it is old tech. It's kind of like why I would never get a Cadena miner right now. The KA3 is old tech. It is an old machine. It's been the best miner on that coin for years. Radiant mining has recently become ASIC mined. And everything we've talked about today are ASIC miners. They're application-specific integrated circuit miners. These are purpose-built custom computers that only mine one mining algorithm. Can I talk any faster? I don't know, but I'm starting to feel like Eminem, but I'll stop. Is that this hardware, it only mines one coin. So when this hardware becomes inefficient, obsolete, it's completely trash, worthless. Done. Only thing salvageable on it, maybe a control board, which is the brains on top, and maybe the power supply. That's it. Like the hash board and stuff, see you later, junk. It's not like this is multi-purpose hardware. And the people that wish we could go back to the days of viable multi-purpose hardware mining, particularly GPU mining, give it up, dude. It's over with the huge GPU clusters deployed now for AI and cloud gaming and everything else. The amount of GPU compute is so many magnitudes above what it used to be, and the acceptance of cryptocurrency now versus then. GPU mining will never be viable because there's huge operations that are running out compute that are already deployed, that are in data centers that have super cheap electricity. They've got world-class NVIDIA tech in there. They will switch over and steal all that mining profitability so fast. Give it up. It's over. At best, this is one of my personal forever dreams, is to release a mining algorithm that's truly multi-hardware and needs all of the pieces to work properly. A machine that has to have a good CPU, a good GPU, a big hard drive, right? Among other things. They needed to utilize all that hardware in tandem. At that point, maybe we could restore DIY style, enthusiast level, grassroots, multi-purpose hardware mining. But if you think oh, I miss GPUs, bro, they're gone. They're dead and gone. They made a song about it. And now I sound like an artifact referencing that song. And to round it out, just looking at some of the recent miner releases by date, right? We've already pretty much talked about the latest miners, if you will. They're up here at the top of the chart. A recent Bitcoin miner release is the Avalon 1566. And upon its release, it makes a very exciting $3 a day after you pay the electricity bill. All these ALPH miners are just pouring out of all these different companies, including Dragonball. We just got the A11 into review, which dual mines ALPH and Radiant, which I thought was really exciting until ALPH mining just went ridiculous. And now the ALPH mining aspect is basically worthless. So I went from being excited to just absolutely bummed here. I'm looking to pull in an exciting 53 cents a day, and we'll see how long Radiant mining is. But when I sunk this order for this machine, it was supposed to be pulling like $100 a day. I thought that would decrease significantly, but not this significantly. And the pricing from then to now is a $3,000 difference. Of course, I haven't mined $3,000. I only plugged it in a couple days ago. So anyway, the bottom line is maybe I sound a little frustrated or negative or whatever, but mining is not like an easy, clear-cut victory. It's been very difficult, and mining manufacturers are getting filthy rich, and miners are struggling to turn profits, break even, and do well. So it's just frustrating. There's so much money in mining too, with these big orgs that like don't care. Like, it's way different when you're spending your own money versus you're running some publicly traded mining farm and you have this huge $1 million budget and you're like, yeah, let's throw it at these miners. You know, it's just different, man. And it's tough. It's frustrating. It's changing. I think this cycle, and I think we're hopefully entering like the beginning, the real bull run cycle here for 2024 into 25 and maybe some of 26. I think this is the last ride. I think this is the last ride for viable at-home mining. I think this is the last ride for small and medium scale mining. After this, it's going to be completely industrialized. Little guys are going to be priced out. And then at that point, unless you have some weird situation and agreement where you get free power, the only other viable way to continue playing this game is going to be solar power, which, to be honest, is what I'm kind of thinking about doing and pursuing. But hey, that's the latest update. It's not the brightest update in the world. I'm Vosk on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. This is Tails. She's beautiful, and wish her a happy birthday. She just turned 9. Crazy. So thankful for every day I get with her, and I'm thankful for all the people who take the time to tune in and watch the videos. I'll see you later.
Bye.